Hi, everyone, and welcome to Starting Work in High School, Girls for Business's September 2021 virtual event. We're so excited to see you all today and to have you guys through with our panel today. And a special thank you to our wonderful panelists, Ms. Ishita Huja and Ms. Megan Manlunas. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it to Angelica, our co-director of outreach at Girls for Business and also the host of today's event.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Angelica Fruit and I'm a co-director of outreach at Girls for Business. So again, thank you all so much for joining us today and we're so excited to see you guys. And I hope you've all been having an amazing weekend. So we know who's here, and to warm up for today's event as usual, if everyone could type their name, where you're from, and aligning with today's event theme, your dream career in the chat, that would be amazing. So to get started, I am a junior in high school from Maryland. And I don't think I have a dream career picked yet, but I would say I'm really interested in marketing and business, as well as an intersection with writing. So feel free to drop in the chat your responses to that. And yeah, thank you guys for coming out today. Thank you guys for all of you guys in different time zones being up early or, taking time out of lunch or something important to come to attend. We're so excited to see you guys here. All right, as we wait for some responses to roll in, I can get started on introducing our event. So today at the Starting Work in High School event, we hope to educate, inspire, and empower all middle and high school girls in pursuing a business career. Our two highly experienced business-oriented panelists, Ishita and Megan, will be diving into their career knowledge, unique student experiences, and the workforce with you all today. So moving on to the next slide, we have a full rundown of today's event structure. First, I'll be briefly introducing our organization, Girls for Business, and sharing our initiatives with you all. Our wonderful panelists will then be sharing their general business experiences in brief individual introduction presentations. Then we'll split you all into two breakout rooms where you can further explore everything about their specific business experiences and being in the workforce in interactive group activities and discussions with the panelists. And finally, we'll regroup in the end in the main room for a general Q&A session with all panelists. So thank you all, guys. That was the wrong order of words. Thank you guys all for interacting in the chat. We're seeing a lot of people from different states. Love to see the GFB representation and all of these different sectors of business. So thank you again for coming out. And so now a little bit about Girls for Business. So though business applications are found in a majority of career industries, business education is scarcely taught in the traditional K-12 curriculum. This is a significant problem as students lack exposure to important career and personal finance skills when they enter the workforce. Moreover, the business workforce is a drastically male-dominated field. Not only do women lack representation in making important business decisions, but the stereotype of old men in white suits discourages girls from pursuing business endeavors from the very start. So that's where Girls for Business comes in. We're a student-led nonprofit organization on a mission to expand business and networking opportunities to all middle and high school girls. So Girls for Business's programs center around three main initiatives: mentorship, resources, and community. Girls for Business offers free mentorship, business mentorship to over 170 student mentees through 10-week mentorship cycles. Our mentors are experienced college students and business professionals who guide student mentees to explore business careers and receive instruction from GFB curricula. Girls for Business also offers business resources in multimedia formats. So with a large online audience, our organization publishes biweekly newsletters with business commentaries and career tips. Girls for Business produces daily graphics, documentaries, and video resources on social media, reaching over 4,000 followers. And additionally, Girls for Business coordinates monthly business events, which you're attending one of them now, with an event record of 10 past panels and an international conference. So finally, Girls for Business institutes community platforms to nurture connections. Our ambassador program connects over 50 high school ambassadors who collaborate on marketing our projects, and its chapter development program expands GFB business resources at regional levels around the world. Through our organizational programs, Girls for Business aims to combat the educational gap by increasing accessibility to business resources, and we aspire to inspire girls in becoming the next generation of young businesswomen. So that's enough about Girls for Business, and I'm so excited to invite Eileen, one of our amazing outreach coordinators, to briefly introduce our two panelists with me.
Hi, I'm hi everyone. My name is Eileen Yang and I'm an outreach coordinator at Girls for Business. Today you'll be hearing from Ms. Akita Ahuja, a sophomore at University of Texas Austin McCombs School of Business, pursuing a bachelor's degree focused in MIS and marketing. You'll also be hearing from Ms. Megan Ramirez, a associate project manager at Heartbeat Publicis Health and a recent graduate from Baruch College with a BBA in marketing management and a minor in communication.
Yeah, thanks so much, Eileen. And our panelists will be introducing themselves and sharing their general business experiences a little more in the next few slides so you can all get to know them. So now, without further ado, we will pass it over to Shida. Take it away.
Hi everyone, I'm Ishita. I'm an MIS major, so Management Information Systems and Marketing at the University of Texas at Austin. Some experiences. So this past summer, I was actually a data analytics and revenue operations intern at a small startup in California, which is where I'm from. And basically what I worked on was kind of learning a bunch of marketing tools as well as a lot of technical skills in terms of just being able to put together things to help a company kind of decide like ways to bring up their revenue altogether. I worked in different aspects of the company and kind of worked in learning how to put together analytics-based operations as well as marketing-based, and kind of that combination and intersection between tech and business in order to just kind of help the business grow altogether. Another thing that I do is I'm a marketing and tech consultant at two consulting organizations here at UT. One is called 180 Degrees Consulting, in which we consult for small local nonprofits. So it's really great because I get to see my work being put into action for, I guess you could say, organizations that don't have a lot, and just our ideas help them a whole bunch. We don't get paid for it. We do it just to help out the community. And I really like the initiative it has. With American Marketing Association, what I do is consult for different startups and small entrepreneurs that need help with just kind of growing the marketing sector of their businesses, whether it's in SEO, whether it's in social media, branding, any of that. And then I'm also a teaching assistant here at UT for a class that I took my freshman year, which is just an introduction to data science. Again, super interested in the intersection of technology and business. And I was an SEO intern at another Texas local Austin-based company called Copilot. And then I guess some things about me is I'm a dancer. I'm on the co-ed Bollywood fusion dance team here at UT. I love fashion. I love trying new styles. So if you have any interest in that, talk to me about it. And then I'm also working towards a career again in the intersection of business and technology. And to answer your question from earlier, my dream career would be product management. I want to work with like in a tech company with different teams, and I love the whole cross-functional idea. And I guess my life motto, something I wanted to add, is to look good, feel good, and do good. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashita. Now we would like to pass it on to Megan.
Hi, everyone. It's so great that you're all here. So I'm Megan. I am a recent graduate from Baruch College. So I did see someone who said they were from New York. So yay, New York representation. But I majored in marketing management and I minored in communications. I'm currently an associate project manager at Heartbeat, which is under the Publicis Health umbrella. For those of you who said that you're interested in marketing, Publicis Group is actually one of the big four marketing firms. So a lot of people are familiar with like accounting firms, but if you're into marketing, Publicis Group is a really big agency. I'm also a freelance social media manager at a small startup called Dope Dog. They sell CBD treats. So my past experiences, I was previously the social media director at another startup called Dog Spotted, that's also New York City based. And I was also previously a social media intern at NBC, and I worked on the Sci-Fi account. And then I was a digital marketing intern at my honors college, Belden Macaulay Honors College, where I was also the career relations intern. And in school in general, I used to be really involved in school. I was part of my yearbook committee. I was secretary for the yearbook. I was project manager for Humans of Baruch. So if anyone's familiar with the Humans of New York project, we started Humans of Baruch, which is basically like a photography account, and we interview students all around campus. And I was also a part of the events planning committee at our local Filipino club. And my hobbies include tennis and photography.
Thank you, Megan. Now we will be transitioning to our breakout session, ending at around 4:45 Eastern Standard Time, which will allow each of our panelists to delve deeper into the workforce as well as their personal experiences and unique activities and presentations they have personally prepared for you all. You should now see the breakout room joining option on your screen. Click join and have fun.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen, and I have an activity planned, and we're gonna go into learning more about business and just getting into the workforce in general in high school. So let me. Sorry, adjusting this a little. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do really fast is introduction. So we'll go around and I'll let you all know what I want to hear from you. And then we're going to go into a game and then a quick discussion about just whatever topics we're covering in that. I'm going to let you know about some influencers that have helped me in business, and then some of the programs that you can actually join in high school that will help you, I guess, be more involved and also eventually land jobs at the age you're at. And then I'll give you my contact information. We can stay in touch, and then we'll go into some questions. So let's go into introductions. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I want to hear everyone's name, your age and your grade, where you're from, and then the career path that you're interested in pursuing. So if someone could get us started, that would be great. Turn your mic on. Or I can call on someone. Okay, let me call on someone if no one wants to start us off. Afia?
Hello, my name is Afia, and I'm in grade 11, and I'm from Canada, Ontario specifically. And the career path that I'm interested in pursuing is definitely a mix between business and the medical field.
That's really cool. Let's see, Isabel?
Hi, I'm Isabel. I'm 16. I'm a junior in high school. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. And a career path that I'm interested in going into is definitely anything in broadcasting and like investigative journalism. But I'm also really interested in small business finance.
That's really interesting. I've never heard that one before. How about Samiha?
Hi, my name is Damia, and I'm 14 years old, and I'm in grade 9. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and a career path that I'm interested in pursuing is probably entrepreneurship. So yeah.
That's really cool. Also, I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing y'all's names. Okay, this one's hard. Bethlehem? I think.
Hi, my name is Bethlehem. I'm in 11th grade and I'm 16 years old. I'm from Maryland and I'm interested in tech and science with entrepreneurship.
I love that. I'm super interested in tech too, so you will hear about that today. Tina?
Hi, my name is Tina, and I'm 16. I'm a junior in high school, and I'm from Texas. And I'm interested in pursuing like entrepreneurship in maybe like the food industry.
That's super interesting. I've actually worked with some with consulting, a bunch of like small food companies. So I can definitely give you some insight on that. Sorry, who else is not gone? Rosalind or Rose?
Hi, my name is Rosalind and I'm 15. I'm a junior and I'm from South Korea and I'm interested in fashion design, environmental science, and just got into business.
That's really cool. South Korea, what time is it for you there?
It's currently 5:17 a.m.
Oh my gosh, thank
on
you
a
for being
Monday.
awake so early. That's amazing. All right. And then Chai Wei.
Oh yeah, hi, I'm Chaiwei. I'm 14. I'm a freshman from Maryland, and I'm interested in like consulting.
Really cool. I can definitely give you insight on that. Did anyone else not go? I think I got through everyone. Okay, we're gonna move on then. Okay, so we're gonna play a game. I don't know if y'all ever played this. It's called Four Corners. It's like if you're playing in a classroom setting, it's like your teacher will give you some sort of question and then be like, okay, if you would prefer doing this, then go stand in the right corner of the room. If you prefer doing this, go stand in the left. And then like, you know, how the four corners in a room and you would go stand. So since we can't do that, we're gonna do it with a piece of paper, a pen and a pencil, and then Zoom emoji reactions. So it would be super great if y'all could just take a second, grab a piece of paper, a pen, pencil, whatever. I'll give you like 2 minutes to do that and then we'll get started. Okay, so is everyone ready? If you're not, go ahead and take another second, but I'll just explain the instructions. So what you want to do is like vertically fold your piece of paper into thirds. I think you would just like overlap some of the sections. And on one of the flaps, you're going to write agree, one of them disagree, and one of them neutral. So yeah, go ahead and do that another 2 minutes, just really quickly. It does not have to be pretty at all. Okay, are you guys ready or need another second? Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Reaction or like put your thumb up. Okay, cool. I think I'll give it another second. Okay, I'm gonna get started now. Okay, so what you're gonna do is I'm gonna give you like a set of questions. There's gonna be about 3, and I'm gonna ask you kind of like what your opinion is on that. And based on whatever your opinion is, you're gonna hold up the agree sign, disagree, or neutral. And if your camera's off, go ahead and use emoji reactions. So the agree, I would like you to use this like applause emoji. For disagree, this like surprised face. And then for neutral, put your thumbs up. And that way I'm just going to wait for everyone to react, and then what we're going to do is have a discussion, and I'm going to kind of like call on people to just let me know why they think what they do, and then I'll share my insight on it. And then if you guys have any questions about the question specifically, go ahead, turn your mics off, pop it in the chat, and then we can go over that as well. So if everyone gets it, thumbs up reaction for me. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. I think we're looking good. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so the first question, cold calling and emailing is a helpful practice to engage in when searching for jobs, regardless of the likely annoyance and rejection that comes with it. So do you agree with this statement, disagree, or do you not have an opinion? Whatever it is, if you have questions about what this means, also unmute yourself, pop it in the chat, I can let you know. But yeah, I will give you like 2 minutes to think of your answer and then hold it up once I say so. Or give me an emoji reaction. Maybe 2 minutes is too long. We can also just, if y'all have decided, go ahead and put up your pieces of paper or an emoji if your camera is off. Okay, so I have an agree. I have an agree, okay. Hold up a little closer. Okay, we have a neutral. We have 2 neutrals. And we have 2 agrees, another agree, agree. Okay, I can't see the ones with the girls for business in the background. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have mostly agrees and I had like 2 neutrals. So if you picked agree, could I have a volunteer share why they think this is a good idea? Yeah, go ahead. Isabel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree because kind of it's just, it could be seen as like an annoyance, but it also keeps, like, it helps the employer to know that like you're really adamant and persistent about it, and you like by default are like on their mind, and like they can't forget you if you're like emailing and cold calling.
Very true. Anyone else who said agree haven't responded? You can also drop it in the chat if you don't want to turn your mics on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I can't see the names right now, but if you literally just unmute yourself.
It says it can be annoying because you have to deal with rejection, but I always think rejection isn't always a bad thing, and sometimes you have to learn how to deal with rejection, and it's just practice.
That's a really good point. I like that a lot. Okay, so I had 2 people say neutral. I don't remember exactly who it was, but if you did say neutral, could you unmute yourself and let me know why you didn't have an opinion on it? I think it might have been, I cannot see the names. Yeah, go ahead.
I said neutral because I think like it does help with like what I think Isabel said, that it helps show like how you're persistent about finding jobs, but also at the same time like you can overdo anything, and so like it might hurt you, like you might get like this reputation of, I don't know, of being like annoying almost in a way.
Yeah, that's actually also a really good point. I was kind of go into that, but the problem with this kind of question exactly is it really is dependent on who you're asking and what you're asking for. So the thing is, like when you're in college and even in high school, when you're attending maybe career fairs, when you're just like, because there are opportunities for you to reach out to employers outside of your school opportunities. So when you are doing that, after you meet these employers and you go ahead and you have a discussion with them, they're seeing you for like 5 minutes of this 1 hour that they're talking to a bunch of students just like you, right? You need to make an impression on them. And the way you make an impression is to kind of take that extra step, go ahead and call them, email them if they are dropping their numbers, which they usually don't. Emailing is the most safe option. LinkedIn message them, any of that. Even if they don't respond, as I think it was, I forgot who talked, I can't read the names, I'm so sorry. Whoever talked about rejection, that point was really good because it's like, this is something that you need to face as well. So it's like, not only are you facing the fact that you're like, okay, am I being annoying to this employer? Am I being annoying to the company? Are they not going to want me after this? You have to face the fact that they're most likely not going to respond to you because they're busy. They have a lot of students reaching out, but it doesn't hurt to take the extra effort to make an impression. Like, I'll give you an example. So last year, my freshman year, I joined this. It was this organization that was kind of made by McCombs, and it was called BBA Women's Council. And there it was just a cohort of women. We'd apply to get in, and they would just kind of take us through how to set yourself up as a businesswoman, just the same way that you guys are doing it now, except mine was in college. And they would have us meet with employers. Sometimes they'd have career panels. And I met this one lady from Wells Fargo, and I talked to her, and I just like, I didn't really reach out after. I mean, I was kind of like, okay, like I remember you, like we spoke, whatever. And then my business school itself hosted a career panel a few weeks ago, and I was in one of her breakout sessions, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember you from that last event. And I told her that, and she was like, just because you remembered me, I want you to send me your resume personally, and I will reach out to my colleague and try to get you a position. So things like this, like just the little efforts that you're making, because these people, these employers, they're human too. They want to make connections just like anyone else. It's not about work and professional life for them all the time. Of course, be professional in the way that you're sending your emails and your messages, but make sure you are taking the extra step, because you need to stand out of a bunch of candidates, and making personal connections is honestly the best way to go in terms of that. So does anyone have any questions about it at all? About this question specifically, or this prompt? No? Okay, I'm gonna move on. We can always ask questions at the end too if you do have something that comes up. So the second one is using passive verbs. Oh, sorry. Okay, using passive verbs when writing long descriptions when updating your resume is essential to getting on a company's radar for a job role. So go ahead and take a minute to agree, disagree, or be neutral about that. Okay, you guys can hold them up and give me your reactions if you've decided now. Neutral, okay. Disagree. Disagree. Another disagree. Okay, I have a lot of disagrees. Gonna wait on a couple more. I'm gonna switch between. Okay, I'm gonna go with the, oh, we have one more. Another disagree. Okay, great. All right, so if you said neutral, Isabel, can you unmute yourself and explain why?
So I definitely think passive verbs isn't the way to go, but I was kind of unsure about like the long descriptions part of it, because I know that's like you're not supposed to have like a super wordy resume, I don't think, but you also need to like describe what you've been doing like in the past and like what that entailed, like kind of the skills and stuff that you needed for that for an employer. So I wasn't like super sure.
That makes a lot of sense. That is a super confusing thing to work with. Okay, thank you. So someone who didn't speak last time, maybe, let me see if I can see names on here. I cannot see your name, but you're wearing a red headband. Can you unmute yourself and let me know why you said disagree?
Me?
Yes, what's your name? Oh, okay. Can you say it for me again? I did not pronounce it right.
Bethlehem?
Bethlehem. Okay, okay, got it. All right, can you explain why you said disagree, please?
I disagreed because with resumes, the company or the person who's reading these resumes, they're gonna get a lot of resumes that have long descriptions. I guess to make it more unique or stand out, I guess just have shorter descriptions. But as Isabel said, you do have to be descriptive of what you did do, but I guess it just doesn't have to be that long.
Yeah.
And then also talk about things that you're doing currently, rather than saying, oh, I did this in the past, so I did this in the past. Be like, I'm also currently working on this and the initiatives that I'm doing right now.
That is a really good point. I love that. That is exactly why you should disagree with this statement. I don't know if anyone else has another opinion. If you do, that's like not what Bethlehem said, let me know. Chai Wei, did you want to speak on it?
I'm kind of neutral about it because I'm like unfamiliar with it, but I'd say that it should be bad to use passive verbs and writing long descriptions because companies probably don't want to read through all of that when they're looking at a resume, and instead just like let them know straight to the point of what you're doing, but do include all that information.
Yeah, that is a great response. Thank you so much. Okay, so I will go into this a little bit. This was something that I had to learn over time too. Basically, you want to use the opposite of passive verbs. You want to use action verbs. You want to let them know what exactly you're doing and how exactly you're doing it. And in a monetary way, how are you benefiting the company or the organization or the program that you're doing it for? So let's just say, like, for example, like if I was writing my resume, I would be like, for the experience I talked about earlier at my revenue operations and data analytics internship, I would be like, okay, I built and created 5 dashboards for this company to increase their revenue by 15% within 3 months. So you see how I'm including numbers, I'm giving them specifics, I'm letting them know like, hey, like this is exactly what I'm doing and this is exactly how I'm doing it. Same way with like writing in English where they're like, so what, why, how? It's the same thing in your resume, but you want to keep it to one line, one bullet point. You want to have about like 3 bullet points per experience, but every one, you do not want to make them longer than a line with like 1-inch margins, I would say. There are templates out there that'll help you. I can actually drop a link to the template that I use. It's from my school and it's amazing. It's one of like schools, like business schools build resume templates in order to get through this system that companies have, which is this like online processing system. They just shift through resumes because there is no like employee that has time to look through over 1,000 resumes for a specific role that they're applying for, right? So they have a resume system and which they use kind of like, I guess you could say statements that they tell the resume system. They're like, okay, if there are keywords such as this and this, then take this resume to the next step. If there are sentences that are this long, just get rid of it, that kind of thing. So it's not a human going through it. It's a system. It's like a robot, if that makes sense. And robots will literally just do what they're being told to do. There is no like, okay, let me think of it in a different way, right? So you want to make sure that you're structuring it in a way that'll sift through that resume robot and get you to the next level so that an actual person is looking at your resume. When it comes to, I guess, again, long descriptions, you do not want to make them longer than that one line. Using passive verbs, don't make it something like, oh, I did, I guess if you're working at like a marketing firm, like I did, or I handled the Instagram, like you can't just say that. You can't just be like, okay, like all I did was, you can't just not make it descriptive, if that makes sense. Like they're not going to care if you handled an Instagram. Like you need to tell them, what did you do on the Instagram? How did you enhance the brand name of the company you're doing it for, the organization you're doing it for? In what way did you contribute to that organization that made it better than it was before you entered it? They want to see how you're an asset. So that would be like the best way you go about it. But they also do not have time to look through a bunch of long descriptions, and their resume robot will not do it either. And if y'all do want that resume template, let me know and I will drop that link in the chat for you. I guess, yeah, like that's because the company's radar, the first step is literally getting through that online system. So after that, it becomes very subjective to who is looking at your resume. And that's something you can't control exactly, but you kind of can. You can kind of like format it in a way that's like, look at me, like at least give me a chance to interview so you can see how I am as a person, because that piece of paper doesn't tell everything about you. So any questions from me about resumes? Anything? No? Okay, let's move on. We have one more. So this third one It says recruiters are very unlikely to remember all the faces they see at events and career fairs. So there is no point in being an annoyance and trying to reach out to them after. Rather, you should find the application separately and apply to roles there. Very similar kind of question. So maybe that first one gave you some insight.
Oh, also just to chime in, I know the breakout room option says there's only around a minute remaining, so we might get pulled back to the main room, and then after that we can come back for around like 8 or 9 more minutes to kind of finish the workshop up, and then go back to the final Q&A discussion.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, I don't want to waste a lot of time. So just really quickly before this minute closes, I just want to see who agrees, disagrees, disagree, agree, disagree, disagree. What else do I have? Can you keep it held up or put your reactions back on? Because I did not see everyone's. Just keep your paper held up. Okay, we have a disagree, disagree. Okay, cool. All right, so when we are actually, whoever said agree, can you go over it in the next 20 seconds really fast?
Okay, I would say both, like more like neutral, because I see both sides, but I just think you should try to reach out because it never hurts to try. And that's basically it.
Okay, so then I think you agree with, oh wait, no, you disagree with this then. Because I'm saying, okay, that's fine. We can, sorry, it was worded a little confusing, but we can go over it. Basically, it's just saying that like you should only look at their applications online. You shouldn't reach out to them. You don't agree with that, right? Okay, you're totally good. So I was just wondering. Okay, I guess they're. Do you think we'll be sent back to the main session? Should I hold off for a sec?
Oh yeah, I think the rooms will close in like 5 seconds, and then after that we can just reopen it. Okay.
Okay.
We will be put back soon. Rachel is here. For
Yep,
about
opening up rooms
5 more
right
minutes.
now again for another 8 more minutes, so around 45, 46-ish.
I think you're muted.
So sorry. I'll take one more person for whoever said agree. Can Afia go ahead and explain? Hello? I don't know if she's there. Okay. Maybe Samiha? I don't know how to say it.
So I think I'd say neutral, because I think you really should like reach out to people, but you shouldn't like, keep on like repetitively doing something. Just reaching out like once or something. I mean, that I would say that's fine.
Yes, I super agree with that statement. So again, I think I would say neutral for this one also. Kind of going off that first prompt that we had, you do not want to be an annoyance, but you do want to build connections. If they're not being responsive after you've tried like 2 or 3 times, then that's something you probably want to let go and then go ahead and take that second avenue and go ahead and apply on the applications on your own, just like whatever's on their website. And then maybe at that point, they'll sift through your resume and see if they like you. But reaching out never hurts. It hurts only if you do it excessively or not at all. So there's always like too much or too little of something. But yeah, since we have, I think like, how long do we have? You know.
Around 5 more minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, so let's move on. So that was just the game that I wanted y'all to kind of be interactive in and just kind of understand why we do certain things in business and while we're recruiting. So now I wanted to let you know some influencers and programs that you could find and you can also just kind of get involved in. So first we have Reshma Saujani. So she's a lawyer and also the founder of Girls Who Code. So whoever here is interested in technology, like go ahead and look at hers. She has a great program that's, I think it's free of charge. The link is down below, and I think if the presentation is shared with y'all, then you can go ahead and check that out. And then some of her socials right here. So we have Kendra Scott also. She's actually a professor at my university and she has a whole program here. She's a fashion designer and a businesswoman entrepreneur, started her own fashion designing company. She has a great way to get involved within like student council, entrepreneurial programs. So go ahead and check out her link as well, and you can get to know more about what she has to offer. I was on the student council board for Kendra Scott last year, and I would be more than happy to talk to you about it if that's something you're interested in. Then we have Carly Kloss, who's actually a model and also the founder of Code with Klossy. Again, something if you're interested in technology, go ahead and look into that. We also have Nita Singh Kaushal. So she started this program called Miss CEO, which I attended a few summers ago, and it was great. It's a wonderful like kind of summer program. I think it was like a week or two. And you just kind of learn about how to build yourself up as a woman in the business world. You learn a lot of skills. She takes you through a lot of activities. Getting involved is down below, and you meet with a lot of cool, amazing women in business, learn about their specialties. She brings in so many diverse people to come talk to you in different fields. Like I know we have someone interested in broadcasting journalism. There's that. There's people interested in consulting, people in entrepreneurship, fashion, everything. Like go ahead and check that out. I think it's a really well-rounded program. And she actually hosted herself, so you get to meet her too. Yeah, so I'll just keep this up for a second so y'all can look, and then I'll put that back up later. But here is my contact information and socials. So if you want to stay in touch with me, reach out to me, message me, DM me, whatever, like, I will respond, I'll get back to you. So you can take note of this if you'd like. And I will also just take questions now if anyone has any, because I think we have like 2 more minutes left. So just unmute yourself, drop it in the chat, and we can just talk. You can ask me about like anything I've done, anything you're interested in, need more help getting involved in, or any of the questions we went over earlier.
Sorry, how did you know which business field you wanted to go to? Because there's like so many.
I know. I'm gonna be honest with you, it took me a while to get here. I think what happened for me was like at my school, you come into UT, as in if you get into the business school, you come in unspecified. So you haven't really declared anything, but you get the opportunity to take introduction classes to every single pathway they offer your freshman and sophomore year. And I took, right now I'm taking like an operations class, a decision science class. I'm taking accounting, which by the way, I hate. So I know I'm not doing that. And I'm taking finance, marketing, and then MIS. So MIS was one of the classes that I thought really spoke out to me the most. And because it was really analytical and creative at the same time. And I really like the combination. Marketing also is shifting towards that analytics based field. And I just really enjoyed like the skills I was learning in those classes. So it wasn't so much the label, it's more like I got the opportunity to explore them individually. So I think just like introducing yourself to different fields, you can take online classes, courses, just kind of learn about them, attend more Girls for Business events because they do have specific ones for different people in finance, marketing, whatever. So I just like involving yourself and being proactive to kind of learn about the different sectors will really help you. And you're not going to get it the first time. It took me like 3 years to get here. But yeah, like just take those introductory courses and be involved. That will help you figure it out. I hope that helped. Something in the chat. Oh, yes, I can drop the resume template. Let me do that right now. I'm going to stop sharing screen for a sec. Let me know if you guys can access that. It's like a downloaded Word file, but I can also try finding maybe like a website link. And then they also give you kind of like a whole, give you instructions on how to go about it. So I can drop that. Anything else? I don't know if we have. Okay, perfect. That works. Any other questions we have? Drop them in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. How much more time do we have, Rachel?
We have our final minute, but if anyone has any questions, also feel free to ask them in the main Q&A discussion, so you can also ask both Ashita and Megan in another minute or so. So at this point, I'll close the breakout rooms, and then we can reconvene in the main session for some general Q&A.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, see everyone in the main session.
All right, I'm sorry. I think it cut Megan off a little bit. Rachel, we had a question that wasn't completely answered. Do you want to just keep going, or do you want to wait until we do the general questions?
Yeah, we can reintroduce the question and then start that off with the Q&A.
All right, so I'll get back to Danielle's question. I have it saved in my chat right when we start off the general Q&A. But before we do that, let me get over here. So I hope you guys learned something from those breakout rooms. I think Megan's presentation was really well done. So thank you guys for participating, and sorry about the technical difficulties in the middle. Let me pull this up. I think before we start our general Q&A, we did want to take a group photo. This will actually be posted in our recap post on Instagram and also LinkedIn. If you're interested in dropping your handles, if you haven't already, in our RSVP form. But we can take a group picture right now. I think, Rachel, whenever you're ready, I'll count to 3 twice for 2 pictures. And if everyone could turn on your cameras, that would be great. Oh, Eileen, I think you're also taking a picture. So I'll just let me know when you're ready, Rachel.
I can actually add on to what Megan said. So I really like the whole idea of getting leadership roles. That's super important, and I completely agree with that. Something I did in high school to get more involved with, I guess, business was the DECA program that we had. It depends if your high school has it or not. There's DECA, there's FBLA, there's business clubs in general that you could join. I also did speech and debate, which helped me a lot with my speaking skills, if that's something y'all are interested in. It's a lot more, I guess you could say, political and like more in the field of like poli-sci, law, and everything, but it doesn't matter. If that's something you enjoy, definitely go for it. It's great. It's a great skill to have. But DECA really introduced me to how business functions, like in college, and kind of introduced me to things like case studies and just being like able to come up with market plans in like 5 minutes, So I think that's something that helps you think on your feet also. And then in terms of internship opportunities, I also didn't really intern for anything in high school, but you can look for those. They usually will be unpaid, and I really like the sources that Megan dropped below, so definitely check those out. Just for experience to have under your belt is also great. It's always great to have extra experience, so go for it if you can.
Yeah. What was the program that you said that you were in high school? Can you drop that in the chat?
DECA, yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
Drop a few. These are all very dependent on like if your high school has them or not. So just make sure that you do have those clubs if you are interested in joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much, both of you guys, for all those resources and answers. Going on to another popular question. I think here's one that's pretty personal to you guys. So what are some of the biggest challenges you both faced in your business journeys, and how did you overcome them?
I can start this one off. Okay, so I would say that like, because I am so fresh into college and looking for internships is something that they kind of say for the juniors, the seniors, and then everyone beyond. I definitely had a lot of trouble finding my way into getting accepted into these programs because of the fact that they kind of think you're underqualified when you're younger. And that's just because you aren't introduced to as many classes, as many programs. But it's honestly a challenge in and of itself to kind of promote yourself to being someone that capable of doing the same things that any older student can do. Especially if y'all are going to apply to internships in high school, it's really challenging to get those because one, they're unpaid, two, they're usually reserved for college students. So just like being able to market yourself, personally brand yourself, and make yourself stand out from a bunch of students, offer something that other people do not have, is a great way to go about that. Also, just figuring out what I was passionate about. That's a huge thing. And I think that continues to be a challenge. You don't really get rid of that. But it does change a lot. And I think it's a great journey to kind of getting there. So you'll figure that out as you go. College will be a great introduction to that. Just be proactive and kind of learn more things about yourself so you're able to navigate that whole challenge in and of itself.
Yeah, I completely agree with that answer. I would say one of the biggest challenges that I faced just in my journey would just be dealing with rejection, because there were semesters where I would just apply to so many different internships, apply to so many different companies that I wanted to be at. There was an instance where I literally went through like 4 or 5 rounds of interviewing just for them to reject me. So it's just being able to pick yourself up after that. So even though you're going through that, you're not going through it alone. There's other people who are also facing or are in the same shoes as you. And just knowing that rejection is redirection. So maybe you didn't get the position that you wanted, but it could also lead you to something else. It'll redirect you to something that is even better, or is better for you. So I think without the rejections that I've gotten, I definitely would not be here where I am today.
Thank you both, Ishita and Megan. We will also now ask one of the RSVP questions. What are some tips for balancing work and school?
That's a good question, actually. So if you're trying to balance work and school, I would definitely recommend staying as organized as possible. So have a physical planner. When I was in college, I had a physical planner that was color coded, as nerdy as it sounds, but I had, a color for when my assignments were due, so I could stay on top of that. I had a color for when work stuff had to come up, or work presentations or work assignments were due. And then I had another color just for anything miscellaneous. So like hanging out with friends, I definitely had to plan in advance. But when I was in school, I was lucky enough to be a part of my honors college, and a perk of my honors college was just having priority registration. And so, when you're in college, you're making your own schedule. And so everyone's fighting for the best professors, best class times. No one wants to be at class at 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. So being in the honors college really helped me, because I was able to have my schedule be Tuesdays and Thursdays. I had all my classes, and then I saved my Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays for internships. And even if I didn't have an internship lined up, I really tried to save those 3 days. So in the event that I did have an internship, which I did, I was able to dedicate my time to that. So I would say, if you can, try to have your schedule be as flexible as possible. And when you're looking through the classes, try to have, maybe if you want to stack all your classes in 2 days, if you want to do that, and then save the rest of your time to intern, you could do that, but also really, really stay organized.
I completely agree with what Megan is saying. I use a physical planner too, and I color code it the same exact way, which is so funny. But another thing I invested in was Google Calendar, which I think is an amazing resource, because you're kind of able to, now that everything is super virtual, you're kind of able to organize with like notifications. You can like set up meetings and shared times, because I have a lot of meetings with people because I'm in so many organizations, and it's so easy because I'll just like put it into my calendar, type in their email, done, and it's scheduled. So things like that really help you out. You'll figure out a system for yourself. It's a lot of trial and error process. But yeah, these are just some great tips. Like Megan gave a bunch, and then Google Calendar and just this physical planner. Just try those out.
Yeah, thank you so much, both of you, for answering that question. And thank you everyone for all your questions. So we are nearing the end of our event time, and we can conclude our general Q&A session. And I know that both of you guys had Q&A as a part of your breakout room, so hopefully everyone got to ask a lot of questions there. So moving on to the next slide, if we can get the screen share back up. Okay, that's good. We have all of our panelists' contact information. In case you had other questions or anything we couldn't get to today, you can reach out via email or connect with them on LinkedIn. So feel free to take a picture of the slide. Sorry, Eileen, I kind of stole your, I think Eileen was supposed to introduce the slide. But thank you so much, Eileen, for co-hosting with me, and I'll be wrapping up our event in like 10 moments after you guys, if you guys need to take a picture, be a good time now. All right, and I think we can move on. So wrapping up with a Girls for Business plug, be sure to follow us on all of our socials to stay updated with Girls for Business content. We have a lot of cool content planned for our social media accounts, so be sure to follow us there if you haven't already. As I said earlier, event recaps will be posted to all of our platforms, and so last call, if you want to be tagged in anything, you can leave your handle right now. I know we had it in our RSVP form, so we probably have a lot of yours, and I'll give everyone a moment to message if you'd like to. And also, I know this includes a lot of like links and stuff, so you can take a picture to refer back to this later as well. All right. And then finally, last slide, there's a lot of info. If you'd like to get involved with the Girls for Business community, here are some of the ways that you can. So you can access all of these links by scanning the QR code. So as I think Megan mentioned in our room, you can apply to become a mentee for our business mentorship program, which is open year round, and the application link is also listed on the screen. You can subscribe to our email list. GFB subscribers receive bi-weekly newsletters featuring the latest news in business, career tips, opportunities and internships, and exclusive interviews with professional business individuals and more. So you can scan the QR code to join our mailing list as well. You can also join our team or become an ambassador. We are currently accepting applications for current team, select team roles, and would love to work with you guys in the future. And lastly, you can join our community Slack, where you can network with girls with similar interests and receive personal and professional guidance from accomplished businesswomen, and build connections with girls from all over the world. So the invitation is also in the bottom left-hand corner of this slide. And lastly, we do have a form that I'm putting in the chat. If you have any suggestions for how we can improve your events, what you thought about this event, and just any feedback for Girls for Business, we have a feedback form in the chat that I just put. And yeah, okay, Rachel put it much more professionally. Yeah, it's also there. And so that brings us to the end of starting work in high school. So thank you so much to both of our panelists for coming out today and sharing all of your business and workforce experiences with us all. We learned so much from you and your experiences. So huge thank you to Ashita and Megan for taking the time out of your day to speak today. And additionally, huge thank you to all of our participants for taking the time to attend this event. If you have any additional questions or suggestions, you can feel free to stay behind for a few minutes. We'd love to chat with you. And for anyone else, I hope you had an amazing day, and hope to see you all again at future Girls for Business events. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.